point, it is absolutely wild to see how one of the biggest artists in Drake reached a point where after managing to lose every single also obvious is because while Drake is trying to say that he is being pushed out of the industry and that they are doing nothing to help him and right now. Because after seeing the failure of his new album with Party Next Door and the success that Kendrick Lamar has had simultaneously, while Drake won't say it directly, Drake has made it very clear by both telling his good buddy
Yo, what's going on YouTube? What's going on? We're back with another banger. Yes sir. Today's video we got why Drake is now blaming Kendrick and Spotify for his album flop. Really, nigga? You're blaming Kendrick and now Spotify? Last time you were suing the album because you were blaming the album wasn't pushing your album enough, but they were pushing Kendrick's. Man, Drake, you can just keep going outside, bro. Like, for real, man. It's just crazy, bro. But if you guys are new here and you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers by the end of February. Gang, it is February 21st. We have 7 days left in this month. We're at, I believe, 165 subscribers at the time of this recording. Gang, can we hit 200 subscribers in the next 7 days? Gang, it's only the power's in y'all hands, bro. The subscribe button costs you $0. Hit that motherfucking subscribe button and join the family so we can see where we take this channel into 2025. It's gonna be crazy. If we can set goals like this and hit goals like this, bro, this channel's gonna go crazy this year. It's gonna be the power of y'all, man. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Join the family, become part of the family, you feel me? But that being said, enough talking, enough yapping. Let's see what Fantastic Hip Hop has to say in this video about Drake, man. Let's get it. Hold on. Rewind that. We're going to have to run that back. Why isn't my headset playing? What the fuck's going on? I can't hear shit, guys. Hold on. Alright. Let's get it.
right now because his brand new collab album with Party Next Door, SSS for You, is doing terrible is something like we have never seen before, because with what Drake is doing now, it's truly the ultimate form of defeat, as beyond ever accepting any sort of accountability and looking at how he can improve himself and see what went wrong with this new album and entire era in his career, Drake is doing one of the most pathetic things anyone can do, which is try to blame every single person but himself on why this record is doing so bad. And now before we go any further into just how desperate what Drake is doing is to try and create a distraction from how bad the release of this album actually is, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And just as I have said in my past few videos, the Drake fans are still mad at me and they really don't want you to hear what I have to say, so please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out a ton and make sure that we can all see just how terrible this downfall from Drake has gotten.
Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already.
Out of the way, when it comes to what is easily already the worst album release Drake has ever had with SSS for You, overall, when it comes to the trajectory of Drake's entire career and how it has all led to this pathetic point, it is absolutely wild to see how one of the biggest artists in Drake reached a point where after managing to lose every single thing he had all because of his own carelessness, that he didn't just double down in this losing strategy that has taken away every single thing from him, but that he decided to release the most important album he ever has directly off the method that has left him without any sort of success for over a year at this.
What's crazy is, bro, I've been telling y'all we need to listen to this album, like, since he dropped it on Valentine's Day with the Super Bowl, same time as Kendrick, which I still told y'all, I don't know why the fuck he did that, you feel me? It was an L on his part, and it showed. But we're about to react to it literally after I'm done with this reaction right here. I'm gonna go ahead and drop some music reactions for our other channel. Links are all in the description if you guys are wondering. But yeah, man, I'm gonna react to his first song he has on his YouTube channel for the album and see. But everyone's saying that shit's a flop, so we'll see, man. Let's get it.
This point. And now after all of this, which of course has resulted in the actual album we have gotten in SSS for You, as Drake has seen this album open up with half the streams that his last album
million.
For All the Dogs,
it went up though. It went
the
up.
record has put up the worst streaming numbers he has ever seen for new music. For
That's still
Drake,
bad numbers
despite
for
the
Drake.
fact that he put out an album that was so bad that it seriously has lines like this, and of course nobody is listening to it because who
What the
even
fuck?
wanted
I got
this in the
plex like
first
I haven't
place?
been brushing
In an
my
attempt
teeth.
to try and avoid and ever facing his
Nah,
own
that
failure
ain't
for
a bar.
releasing a horrible album that nobody asked for. As at the same time as all of this, the current landscape of the charts are showing Kendrick Lamar to be reaching all-time levels of success, as from top albums to top songs, Kendrick has music from all eras of his career changing how hip-hop is being seen by everyone, which of course this is
100%.
all because of his own success and the momentum from the Super Bowl. Right now, as Drake is seeing an all-time low in success, and Kendrick is never doing better. Drake is...
You guys want to know another reason why Drake's at his all-time low? Is because, like I said, for the 5th fucking video of reacting to Fantastic Hip Hop, Drake should have never dropped the same time at the Super Bowl as Kendrick. Because, nigga, he's at his highest point in his career. And you're over here dropping numbers. And you think that that was the perfect time for you to drop? I told y'all, bro, like 4 videos ago. Dumbest shit he could have done. Dumbest shit he could have did, bro. And what did he do? He did it. And look at the proof. Just flopping, bro. He needs to take a break. You feel me? And then come back. And maybe, just maybe, if he come back with some hard music, niggas would rock with him again. But right now, he's going out fucking sad. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm a Drake fan, so this shit's like nigga, what the fuck's going on with you, dog? Like, you let this L really hurt you that bad? Like, you took it up the ass for real. Like, no diddy. You feel me? Like, nigga. You know when niggas say, oh, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, you got a broomstick up your ass? That's this nigga. Real shit.
Started to find his new way to try and cope with the fact that his time on top is over, and now he's really no longer even anywhere near the top list of stars in rap or in music as a whole right now. Because after seeing the failure of his new album with Party Next Door and the success that Kendrick Lamar has had simultaneously, while Drake won't say it directly, Drake has made it very clear by both telling his good buddy Act to spread certain narratives, which he is now supporting.
Oh, nigga, don't let me get started on academics. We already reacted to that. Let's keep
and interacting with to get his entire fan base angry
We're not
at
about
the
to do that
music
in this
industry,
video. This
and of course
gonna
not
be way too
accepting
long.
his own failure. Now, what Drake wants everyone to think is that the reason why SSS for You is doing so bad is because the industry is suppressing the album, and they are not just blocking Drake, but they are pushing Kendrick Lamar's numbers to go up further and further. And I mean, with all of this, while we can definitely say that Drake's numbers are no longer being inflated because his relationship with the industry has completely changed, as again,
Hell no.
did crumble his own image there by putting them within a whole suit. Still, even with that said, what we can also obviously see is that Drake is not being suppressed. But what is clear is that for the first time in really his entire career, he has been placed on the same playing field that every other rapper has ever been on for the most part, which means that their success is only going as far as they can take it with a quality record that also resonates with as many people as possible. And again, why this is all so obvious is because while Drake is trying to say that he is being pushed out of the industry and that they are doing nothing to help him and this record, if you just look around at the truth and not what he's saying. This album was on the cover of every streaming platform when it dropped, and it was featured heavily across the biggest general, rap, and R&B playlists on them as well. And so when you see this and also see how Drake is trying to push this narrative that he has no support, and yet the album and its songs were all over major playlists and on the front of these platforms, and they were also being posted.
If you were in an accident and you know it wasn't your fault, don't speak to insurance companies. You may qualify for more.
What we are seeing is that just like when Family Matters and Not Like Us came out, these platforms do what they are supposed to do first, which is to allow the people to facilitate what they want to listen to, and based on what gets a better response. Which in this instance, it was either Drake's new album or GNX and Kendrick's diss tracks and entire catalog. Overall, more people are listening to Kendrick Lamar than this new Drake album. So because
100%.
of this, now the platforms push...
If I'm YouTube, if I'm Spotify, SoundCloud, any of these platforms, you know, first, when y'all both announce y'all shit, yeah, I'm gonna promote both of y'all. You feel me? And then once y'all drop, whoever does the best numbers is obviously gonna get more promoted because they're making me the most money. You feel me? Like, why wouldn't I put more money and more of my energy over here? Because You're making me more money. You're doing more streams than over here. You feel me? Like, come on now. It's the smartest move to make if you're making a money play. You feel me?
What's popular based off the recommendations of what
the label is, the industry is.
Really,
it's all about money.
Take an expert to see how these things work when we are on the highest stage, of course. And again, we are looking at the actual facts and not the narratives that people like Drake and Ack are trying to push. And just adding to my point even more, and really showing how delusional Drake is, because all he is trying to do by blaming Kendrick Lamar, GNX, and the industry for being pushed over his album is really just give himself a pass for this album failing and ultimately letting his fans give him more time to try and do just one thing right, is that when we compare this Drake and Party album to another recent collab record in hip-hop with Vulture's One, that record was actually being suppressed as it was pulled off platforms and had no support from any of the streamers whatsoever, which then meant you could not find the album unless you went to the artist pages directly, as everything else was hiding it, and it got no playlisting, which is one of the big things that boost these albums in the first place. And what's so funny is that even with all of us seeing how that record was actually being suppressed by the industry, really just showing how bad Drake's failure is, as the people just do not care what he is doing. Vultures didn't just outstream Drake and Party's album on its opening.
It's not that just people don't care what Drake is doing, it's all the shit that Drake is doing behind dropping all his music. Like, you sued Kendrick's label, bro. You're over here bashing Kendrick any type of chance you get by liking memes, posting shit about him. You're saying that Spotify and other streaming platforms are putting more money into Kendrick than they are you, when your shit was everywhere to begin with. You're just complaining. No one cares, bro. This is supposed to be rap and rap beef. Y'all supposed to be going back and forth. But instead, it's like you took an L and really took an L and started complaining and crying about it. And now niggas are gonna be like, oh yeah, you're a bitch. Nigga, we're about to definitely go bump Kendrick shit, because now it's like he's telling the 100% truth about you. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, nigga, you about to take this L, and y'all already know how the world is, bro. You're acting like this? Oh, nigga, the world is gonna run with that. Oh yeah, hell yeah, we about to run it up on Kendrick's side, because you're acting like a punk. You feel me? And you were rapping about being tough and all this. So, yeah, we're about to show you and flip the numbers around. You feel me? It's just crazy.
Days and beyond. But it ended up becoming a #1 album and had a #1 song with Carnival as well. And so really, when you just understand the music industry a little and look beyond the scope of Drake and Kendrick and compare SSS for You to Vulture's One, we can clearly see that what's actually happening.
And, my bad, I don't mean to pause right away. Y'all also got to look at it as, if the roles were flipped and everybody was streaming fucking Drake's music over Kendrick, nigga, do you know how much shit Drake would be talking on the internet? Come on now.
Happening is that Drake
you gotta look at it both
push
ways.
A story that didn't actually happen, because you can see the clear support from the industry that this record got, which again, in comparison, when we saw how the music world reacted to an album that they did not want to see succeed, just how far they went to try and prevent it from even being seen by the people with Vultures. And so clearly with Drake and Party's record, this is just not the same case, no matter how they want to talk about it. And so moving beyond the lies, when it comes to really what's happening with Drake and Party Next Door, I got bad news for Drake fans, but the record is not being suppressed. And in actuality, it's just not a good record, and people do not care about it. And if you just look around at the entire landscape of how people are currently interacting with music, just look at the trends and what people are talking about. Drake just lost the listening base that used to tune into his work no matter what. And whether he lost the rap fans to Kendrick Lamar, who again, in this time with GNX being out, he has just redefined and set a new bar for what a mainstream blockbuster rap album should look like. And because of this, an album like GNX is still seeing songs top the chart for the first time, while Drake and Party's album is doing worse than anybody could have even imagined, and it's just been out for a few days. And now even beyond hip-hop, as this is an R&B album technically, with the competition there being people like SZA and The Weeknd. Again, the people have just chosen to support other artists.
You're foul as fuck for that. Fantastic, you are foul as fuck. This nigga said people like SZA and The Week, and that was it. The Weeknd, nigga? Like, who the fuck is The Week? You feel me?
In this time
What
we're
the fuck?
releasing better albums, and if you listen to all of these records, whether it's GNX, Lana, or Hurry Up Tomorrow compared to SSS for You, it won't take you long to figure out why all these albums are outperforming Drake's, and this is just because they offer a way better experience. And really what's so confusing about all of this is that Drake had time to listen and compare his record to the work of all three of these names and so many others in the industry who are doing great things, and when it comes to Drake's downfall overall, when this is looked back on and people try to understand how an artist who was unable to lose even when dropping bad music for so long was eventually able to fall this much.
Listen up. If you've been injured in a recent car accident, what you do next can make or break how much money you get. Here's the biggest mistake.
One of the reasons that will be very clear is that Drake did not ever properly estimate any of his competition and just believed that because something was from him, that it would be able to outperform anything, whether it was one of the greatest diss tracks of all time from Kendrick, one of the biggest rap albums of all time from...
And you know what's crazy is, this nigga Drake is the one that brung Kendrick back to rap. Like, I know, a lot of people aren't gonna like that, you feel me? But for real, be honest, like, Kendrick was not making music like that. Like he is now, back then, before the rap beef. Kendrick was just low-key. He was dropping music when he wanted to. But Drake brung that fire back in him. Put that fire back in him. You feel me? To where now this nigga's dropping shit. Bam, 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 bam. You feel me? Like, oh, Drake put that fire back in his chest. You feel me? And now look at him. This is crazy,
Kendrick
bro.
as well, or one of the most anticipated R&B albums from the week.
Watch
and
you
beyond
beef
this
with,
being
bro.
such a flawed way of thinking for anybody, this is why this album is doing so bad, because pretty much what Drake entered into one of the most competitive times in the music industry with was a collection of throwaway songs from For All the Dogs and CLB that have Party Next Door thrown onto them, and again, between the failure to make not even good but interesting and engaging music, and the fact that he is not getting that unfair boost that only he did because of the place the industry used to hold him in. When we look at the failure of this album, Drake has nobody to blame but himself, because he's really just caused his own downfall at this point by not being able to realize that everything has changed around him, and that with the industry finally evolving and moving past accepting his mid as the status quo, these albums and strategies that he has been using are just no longer gonna work. So when it comes to GNX and Kendrick Lamar ruining this album from Drake, which again is the big claim he's trying to make and that he is gonna continue to push, so just get ready for that. I mean, in a way, you could say Drake is right that Kendrick is a reason why this thing is failing, but it's not because of industry games and that they are suppressing Drake to push Kendrick. But it's because Kendrick Lamar has just delivered a better collection of music and experiences to fans at this point by far. And with all of this coming together at the Super Bowl, which is now bringing hip-hop to entire new boundaries, which we are seeing as Kendrick Lamar now has over 100 million monthly listeners, which is by far and above a record for rappers. Overall, we are seeing...
I told y'all that Kendrick was gonna hit that 100 million month listener mark, and this nigga hit it. That is insane.
Right before our own eyes, that hip-hop and music has moved on from Drake and is now enjoying much more captivating music in every single sense of the word possible. And so while Drake will complain about all this, and I am sure what he is going to say will only get a lot worse in terms of how he tries to take zero accountability for this album failing and just put it onto everybody else as more numbers come from this
That's
thing.
what it's looking like.
No matter how he tries to push this narrative and people like Akron and make everything they do push this exact same idea. Overall, Drake can't change the truth of everything no matter how hard he tries, and because of this, as long as Drake and everyone around him stay in this place where they can't actually realize why the music isn't working and why so many other artists are just outperforming them now and it's not even close, they're only going to continue to fall, and as Drake clearly can't and won't accept any of this. Get ready for this to become the status quo, because we are only going to see this more and more from him. And so now with all of this said, let me know, what do you think of what Drake is trying?
Straight up. At the end, he was not lying. Like, if Drake stays on this path, it's just going to be decline, decline, decline. I told y'all before, I'm going to tell y'all again. Drake needs to just go ghost for a cool little minute to get himself back together, you know, get himself really in this rap game, and then come back. But keep doing this shit, and your career is just going to keep going at the most low it's ever been. And then, nigga, no one's really gonna care about you or stream your shit until you come with some straight, hard-ass shit. You feel me? This mediocre shit is no more. I told y'all that. Ever since Kendrick started beefing with Drake and showed the world that, oh no, whoa, niggas can still make hard music nowadays? What? Oh, bet. Nobody can make no shit no more that's flopping. You feel me? Another little TikTok songs and whoop whoop. Nah, champ. You feel me? Nah, champ. You're gonna have to come with some hard shit this year now. He's showing, Kendrick's just showing everybody like, hey, it's time to step your game up. You feel me? Y'all let me know how y'all feeling about this down below in the comments. Don't forget that big red subscribe button. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers by the end of February. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. We go.